How's it going, YouTube? CA Wise Boys here, and today I'm going to be looking at the Destroying Devour Indominus Rex. This figure released in 2019, so about 7 years ago from this recording, which makes me a little bit late to the party, but I still feel like this figure holds up well enough for me to review it today. Now, jumping right into the review, I'd like to start looking at the design and model of this figure. Starting off with the head, the sculpting seems very strong here. We've got some brown tanning. It's got orange eyes. Overall, this looks very good to me. The snout and the interlaced teeth. We've got rubber spikes on the back of his neck. Moving down, we've got my first gripe with the figure. The claws are not painted. Now, I get that this is very common with a lot of these figures, but it'll always be a negative with me, so there's that. Not a very big deal, but still it is what it is. On the back, there's a little bit of gray painting going on, a little brownish. Moving on, got a very nice sculpt for the leg. Seems like there's a lot of detail for the muscles. Moving down to the feet, they're very large. And they actually have painted toes. That's a plus for me. And then at the very end, we've got another negative, the tail. The tail in this Indominus Rex figure is pretty short. Looks a little stumpy. But, again, it's not the end of the world. Not that big of a deal. On the bottom of the feet, got some pretty good design. I like that it feels like the bottom of a foot. It's got that detail and separation for the toes, different bumps. We've also got this little code on the bottom. Now moving on to articulation. Starting off with the arms, they've got a nice swivel, allows you to go all the way up, and they've got bend at the elbow, as long as a little twist at the elbow. Allowing you to do a little motion there, go down. Bend it up. Now the legs are connected, so they move together, as well as the neck moves with them. When you pull it back, this position allows them to stand up high, go down, normal resting position, and then also lets them bring his snout to the ground. And that's about it for the basic articulation, but this figure does come with two action features. There's a button right at the base of the neck, and when you press it, it allows the arms to swing together as well as make the sound effect. Now this could be used to try and pick up an action figure if you wanted. Go over to them. The other main action feature is right at the base of the tail, and when this button is pressed, the Indominus Rex will roar and its neck will light up red. Now, sadly, my Indominus Rex is not in pristine condition anymore, as the sounds for both of these action features do not work most of the time. Mainly, the roar does not activate, which is something that could happen if you were to buy this used. Now, if you do get one of these figures and it isn't making any lights or any noises, then your best bet is probably to change the batteries on the other side. It has 3 LR44 batteries, which you can use those or an equivalent, and that is likely to be your problem. Now, there's one last action feature of the Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex, and that's the Devour feature. When you open its mouth and you go down, you can bite a figure and then bring it all the way up and eat it. The figure is able to go down partially into the Indominus' throat, and at the very bottom there's a button, and when activated it will make noises and it will cause it to light up. And this feature allows you to semi-see what the Indominus Rex eats because the throat is semi-transparent, allowing light to go through. Now, this feature doesn't quite make a lot of sense. I guess it's thought that maybe the Indominus Rex ate a flare, but that never happens in the show or the movies. Now we can do a little bit of a size comparison. Here it is with one of the 3/4 inch action figures. Here it is next to the Mosasaurus. Now, this figurine also came out with a card. Overall, I would say that this is one of the better Indominus Rex figures, and it's not very expensive on the secondhand market, unlike the new Hammond Collection Indo, which is definitely a nicer figure, but it's also more expensive. But there are my thoughts on the Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex. I hope you've enjoyed. CI Wise Boy signing off.